Okay, testing one, two, testing one, two, three. There we go. Bring that up a little bit more. Okay. Wow. There we are. Hi, Twitch community. My name is Nick. This is still Online News Reporter, and I make grown men in Banning, California use video footage of me following them home, supposedly, as evidence to say something. I don't know. It's crazy out here. Yeah. But yeah, that's a real thing. Angry men. Uh, I wanted, so this is an update on Online News Reporter because from like the very last stream, things just really haven't been sitting well. And so this is not so much as an apology video as because like, what would I be apologizing for? This is more of a acknowledgement and possibly an amendment to kind of what it is I set out to do here as a content creator for Online News Reporter. Because I do have an idea and I do have a message that I want to go with, and I do feel from the last stream it got way off course. Um, but personally, for me to speak about racial tensions and things of that, um, I'm having some of my content like that I've created be viewed by people in real life now. And that's creating some complications because of, again, what I posted online under Online News Reporter on iFunny, and again, how it just came to be. It's going to create some interesting things or situations because personally, I don't feel that what the streams are separate from the content that I have, and I was posting content for like 3 months prior to streaming. Um, and so now to see the people in real life interact with the content I've created is really interesting because I really don't know what one's their like. Again, there's some content that I created that I go I'm really passionate about that most people wouldn't understand, and that's the stuff that like if no one brings up, then it's like okay, no one connected with something I connect with. But if they bring up stuff that I did because it's relevant and it was important at the time, but I had no connection to it, and then they use that to say, "Oh, this is what I'm connected to," it's not even close. And that's going to be hard for some people to realize that there's some content that, like, yeah, or it. So it's just interesting to see how some people can view me as like a video game channel or like, oh, all he does is sit and play video games. But yet, if you go to the 3 months of content that I created, none of it, like very seldomly, is video games mentioned beyond the usual comment of like, "Oh, life is like a video game," and this is how this post or news or Twitter, tweet uh, represents that. However, in the past stream or past stream, I did speak on some things that like Native American relations and the Chicanos and how they're treated and represented in Native people's lands. Because I live out in Banning and Morongo peoples are a thing. I'm from Southern California. That's a thing. Being a whitey out here, that's a thing. It's been a thing my entire life because this is just, again, this is hard because this is my life. This is what I've grown up with. And I don't use this to like this isn't meant to like create a divide between people. This isn't meant to like understand this is how I view it. And if someone from the opposite side had, or like quote unquote opposite side, said, "Hey, I've been discriminated against whites," I would say, "Okay, how so?" But then again, we have to frame it that like this whitey hasn't. Again, look at the content. Like to yeah, racial tensions, and to talk about anything of that. It's just like the way I'm equating it to now. It's like it's a sunburn, and I'm just laughing at every time you were talking about it, and it's not enjoyable. So that's where I'm gonna leave that at. Um, because again, like I said, I have people in real life dealing with the content I've created, and depending on what content they come in contact with, can really determine how they view and understand who I am as a person that's been creating and just not telling people about it. Because again, there's so many complications to like myself when it comes to just creating like online news reporter that yeah, there's a lot of things I wouldn't tell people in real life because I know how contentious they are. But for people online, it can be easier to just go, hey, this is what's going on. And it's really unfortunate because I think for me, if I was to look at something like I believed in, because the people in my life want to, because they can't believe that I can go to this religious school and truly feel that like the religious things just it is what it is. But for me, like if I was to have a firm belief into something, it would be um, ideas are more expensive than just a singular book. Um, because as weird as that sounds, to be like a certain thing, I don't know. The religious is just again, it's like a sunburn topic. I feel like it shouldn't be taboo to talk about something, and you shouldn't be viewed in any other way than like, okay, someone wants to talk about religious things that person isn't necessarily religious because of life. But I don't look at religion as something other than to be. It's like a good place for people, um, because there's no negating the good. But it's like social media and cell phones and just influence in general. It can have its detriment. And to me, the detriment I have seen and witnessed and seen among the men and the certain sect of religion, again, it's hard because I want to be specific, but the more specific I am about the things that I've gone through in my life, the more offended people in real life get. So it's gonna, and again, it's a sunburn type of topic because these are real things that are happening, and to sweep them under the rug like things do, it's just very rough. Because I don't mean to do it in like I don't mean to go, oh, let's look at this person and like dox them, and it's like nothing like that. It is to say that like there are fractals that we see in our life that could be representational of a bigger problem. And to not talk about it and to not have concern or to say like, and again, what I'm just angry at is just the consequences of my actions. So that, but it's more so again, I'm dealing with racial things. I'm dealing with cultures, and this is what's hard for me is I view it as a very cultural thing, mixed in with a lot of religiosity that, well, again, I can't negate my own religion, like my own beliefs and what are I've been educated on. But I can tell you as today, I don't hold those to be valid forms of my only guidance in life. And unfortunately, the amount of influence a religion can have on a society can be determined. Um, and this is what's hard is when you go to like any academia and you talk about cultures and market segmentation and international business and it, cultures are just talked about in a different kind of way. And me as someone that like again I'm whitey, like I'm kind of the epitome of what people just well, if he thinks he wants to be a success, then he's gonna get it because he just, everything is paved for gold for me. So it's in a weird spot where, again, we kind of go back to, if I feel like I try to speak on positivity, it's like, oh, I'm doing it so I can feel better about my racial guilt, and I don't want it to be like that. I just want it to be like, hey, I have the opportunity. It's like, so again, there's a lot of sunburn type of topics that I'm gonna be aware of. Hey, if you are interested, we have a wild lord loaded. Oh, I'm definitely hopping on that. I'm a okay, Jack. Oh, okay, Jack. There we go. Um, well, let me see something. Do we have chat? Oh, we don't have chat. Dang it. Okay. So yeah. So just to end this, because yeah, things have to happen in life. Uh, expect like online news reporter, but from the streams really, more structured content, and we're gonna go back to what I started that, like why this initially came to be, um, which was not a place for me to come and vent about my personal frustrations. It was never intended for that, or to call out the people that I've personally dealt with in real life. However, it's interesting to see how some of the stuff in real life has affected the, but again, focusing. Um, yeah, so we're gonna kind of go back to what, like the very first post on iFunny, like that that is the core of online news reporter, and everything from there on and what you see pinned, because this isn't, um, so yeah. So when this gets posted to YouTube, this is gonna be like a quote unquote apology video. And yeah, in some sense it is, but it's more of, I'm going to amend my scope of my content and have more structure to it. Um, because there are topics that, when done without forethought, can cause a lot more harm, and caught like pain, like not harm but pain, just stuff that just doesn't feel good and not entertaining at all. And yeah, so that was the updates. Um, so just in closing, just to kind of thank the people that make this whole stream possible, we're gonna say Soundstrip music by Panel. Thank you for providing copy-free music. It's really good. Today's playlist was Happy EDM. 2, Pokemon community game for that timer up in the corner, and then that little question mark in the bottom right hand corner. Just awesome to see the involvement of Pokemon, and to see that they're still around in this new digital era and in 2022. Then we got down below Max. He's developed by Pando, by, yeah, and the Pando and the extensions. Go check him out. Add him to your stream. He grows with it. And yeah. And before we end, and before we end, we did get a new follow. Oh, that just does not look good. Oh, we're gonna fix it later. But yeah, to Sherry84, thank you for the follow off stream. Very cool. So until next time, guys, follow me on iFunny, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Discord, YouTube. Thank you. Have a great one.